Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vital Statistics 3.0. I am your host, Shamitris Vital. And guess what, guys? It is Friday. You made it to Friday. And what does that mean? It's Coaching Friday. I hope that you have been enjoying our podcast thus far. I cannot believe that we are already in 3 weeks. And so today it's time to open up the third element of change. So again, I want to welcome you back to Vital Statistics 3.0. If you have found this to be something that you are interested in or feel like it's something for someone else, please take the opportunity to like, subscribe, and share. If I were to be honest, I am doing just like many others. I am trying to get my algorithms up and I am trying to monetize. I am just here to do what God has called me to do, but also to make the opportunity the best opportunity. So please like and subscribe. So let's get started. If you've been following me this series, you know that we have discussed the 6 elements of change, but we've only gotten to the first 2. And the first 2 weeks ago, it was character. Who are you? And attitude, which determines your altitude. But today, guess what? Number 3, we're diving into the third element, which is health. You can have great character and the right attitude, but if your health, physical, mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual isn't in order, you won't go as far as you've meant to be. As you were meant to. When we hear the word health, most people think about eating right and exercising. And while those things are important, there's so much more to it. What is the health of your relationships right now? I want you to really just think about that. Even if you have to pause this podcast or this video on YouTube, what is the health of your relationships? What's the health of your home right now? Take a look around. If you're listening to it early, look around your house. Is your house healthy? Is it clean? Can you get in there and think and do what you need to do? Or when you get home, are you just tired? Is it a place of peace? What is it? What about your mindset? Where does your mind take you on a daily basis? Do you dread just getting up and doing the things that are natural for each and every one of us, always looking forward to vacation, but can't even function enough to do the work that you're meant to work and do? What about your habits? What are your habits? Do you get up on time in the morning? Do you hit the snooze like me? I probably hit the snooze about 3 or 4 times. Bad habits, but do you have habits that you know you need to break? What are you filling your mind and spirit with every day? Now, this is a big one. I work with a vast majority group of people, from young people all the way up to elders, and the different habits that they have and the different things that they fill their minds with is different. But let's just go with the general thing. When you get in the car, the music that you're playing, what is that doing for you? Yeah, it might be upbeat. Maybe it feels good for the moment, but what is it feeding to your spirit? What is it feeding to your mind? What about the things that you're reading? Like, I know a lot of people go to social media for all of their information, but we know that the greatest information is always going to be found in the book. But we go for the quick source. And then where does that put you when you read it? Oh my God, if I was to be honest, I probably would be in the white coat with my hand strapped to myself going crazy if I literally believed everything that I read on social media. Like right now, we're living in a time that there's a lot going on in our government. I don't want to go real deep into that, but I've never seen this much social media on what was going on in the White House. But I think every time I click on my computer, hit Google or whatever, the Yahoo search, it probably comes up with 10 things every moment I click the change. It's unbelievable the things that's going on. And those advertisements will get me and I'll be like, oh my God. And then I have to catch myself and I'm like, don't go down that rabbit hole. Don't allow yourself to sit in that. So today we're breaking it all down. And by the end of this episode, you'll have the tools to assess your own health and take action towards real change. So let's define health. I really like to give you the Merriam-Webster dictionary's definition. So according to Merriam-Webster, health is defined as the condition of being sound in body, mind, or spirit, especially freedom from physical disease or pain. This definition makes one thing clear. Health is not just about the body, but also about the mind and spirit. So here's the reality. Most of us know what to do to improve our health, but ouch, I'm about to step on some toes, but we don't do it. I'm right there with you guys. We know what to do. We just don't do it. It's not convenient. We know we should eat better, but we choose unhealthy foods. We know we should rest, but we overwork ourselves. We stay up late. We know we should be careful about what we watch, listen to, engage with, but we entertain negativity anyway. So here's the question. What areas of your health have you been neglecting? Is it your body? Is it your mind, your relationships, your habits? That only you can answer. So let me give you 5 key areas that we can work on and really need to think about. So we're going to break them down. 5 major areas of health that impact our overall well-being. Number 1, physical health. Your body is a temple. There's a scripture, but we won't get into that today. What are you feeding it? Are you getting enough rest? How are you treating your body? The first thing, most of us don't even go to bed on time, right? So we're not even giving our bodies enough time to rest and to sleep. We're already bringing up dysfunction because we can't even go to bed at a decent time, knowing we have to get up and perform a physical job or a mental job, whatever it is. You've got to give your body rest. All right. Number 2 is mental health. What is the state of your mind? Do you deal with anxiety, stress, or depression? Are you holding on to a diagnosis instead of fighting for healing? Now, let me say that one more time. This is big to me. Mental health. What is the state of your mind? Do you deal with anxiety, stress, or depression? Are you holding on to a diagnosis? Keyword, holding on to a diagnosis instead of fighting for healing. I learned a long time ago that you have the choice to receive whatever diagnosis the doctor gives you. Some of them we receive, some of them that we say, oh no, I'm not receiving that. And it's all about the mind. God made our mind so magnificent that we can accomplish so much with our mind. But that mental health piece, now that we live in a world that everything is about mental health, and believe me, I am all for mental health, but you got to take care of your mental health. You've got to be speaking well over yourself, be putting positive things in. Don't let your past mistakes or past failures cause you to have dysfunction in your mental health today. You can move forward and you can fight for your healing. All right, let me get out of that. Number 3 is your emotional health. How do you handle emotions? Do you suppress them, lash out, or cope in unhealthy ways? I'm going to jump into that just a little bit because I know for myself, I really have to think about my emotional health. I'll allow myself to sit in it. And I'm also one of those people that I'm like, I'll get it all out in one day. And then after that, I'm kind of over it. But like I have people that I deal with on the mental health side where they just sit in it. And it's just like, oh my God, you know, this, and it's like, hey, snap out of it. That's over with. It's happened. It's no longer. Move forward. You know, maybe a day or two, but you can't be sitting in your emotions for years and years. Okay, the person hurt you a year ago. Now let's move on to that. I have some young people that I'm dealing with right now. They are upset about what happened in a classroom. And it's like, guys, that was months ago. Things are different now. Let's move on from that. It's a new day. You don't have to sit in your emotions. You can acknowledge your emotions, but guess what? You can climb over those. You can step over the emotion in which you're hanging on to. But let's not sit in them. So think about that. How do you handle your emotions? Are you suppressing them? I've always been one of those people like, okay, when I'm out in front of people, I don't want them to see my emotion. But guess what? That's what makes us human, is when we can show our emotions. You don't have to hold them in. All right, let's go ahead. Relationship health is number 4. Relational health. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are your relationships healthy or are they draining? So who do you hang out with? Like I personally, oh my gosh, I'm giving y'all a little bit of my own personal life. When the phone rings, when you see certain people calling, you're like, oh, okay, here we go again. But you answer the phone. You have to give yourself the okay to say, you know what? I'm not dealing with that right now. Or when the email comes in, you know what? I'm not going to fall into that right now. Give yourself the space to be you, to love you, to take on what's best for you in relationships. Before you walk in the house and you're like, I know my kids are going to be after me all day, all night. Give yourself the space before you deal with whatever the situation is. Don't allow it to drain you. I know that, like, I teach and I have some kids, Miss Vital, Miss Vital, Miss Vital. And then I'm like, sweetie, look, you have to allow yourself the space, but I don't allow myself to get too crazy, because then I'd be like, look, leave me alone. Like, I deal with it, and I understand that I'm working with children. So make sure you think about who you're dealing with so that you can be the best person in that situation, but also relational health. And here's the last one, spiritual health. Are you connected to God? Now, I am a firm believer of Christ, and I believe that works. And I want to encourage you that if you don't have a relationship with Christ, please reach out to me. I would love to escort you into a relationship with Christ. But are you connected to God? Are you seeking wisdom and peace? Or are you filling your spirit with distractions and chaos? So that's up for you to answer. And here's the last question. Which of these 5 areas need the most attention in your life right now? So let me just say them real quick again. We've got physical health, mental health, emotional health, relational health, spiritual health. Which one of these 5 needs your attention right now? So let's take our coaching session, because remember, the goal is not to keep you on here long. We're going to look at 2 very different women who are both struggling with their health in different ways. First one is a 49-year-old woman battling depression. She's married with 4 children, 2 in college and 2 in middle/high school. From the outside, things are going well, but her mind is stuck in depression. She's had good jobs and bad jobs. Life circumstances have weighed her down. She's disconnected from her siblings because she doesn't agree with their choices. So let's look at this. If we were to coach them, depression is real, but it doesn't have to be permanent. Did y'all catch that? Depression is real, but it doesn't have to be permanent. If I could give y'all my own testimony, been there, done that. I've pulled myself out. What daily habits are contributing to her mindset? So what daily habits are contributing to your mindset? Is she engaging in activities that bring her joy and fulfillment? She's got to really consider what she's doing each day. And how can she rebuild relationships that are healthy while setting boundaries with unhealthy ones? So let me read that again. How can she rebuild relationships that are healthy while setting boundaries with unhealthy ones? How can she focus on the present and future instead of replaying past disappointments? That's a big one, guys. We let past things hold us back. So here's the question. Are you letting your past experiences dictate your future mindset? And let me put a pinpoint here real quick. One of the things I learned early on in some of my studies, when we talk about the mind, the health, and all those kinds of things, I didn't go deep into that. But when you hold on to stuff, guess what? It may not turn into anything right now internally, but it does turn into something later. A lot of the things that people have, food gives cancer, all of these different things, tumors and all that. But those are what I'll call, for this show, we'll call them like the hidden secrets and the things that you've held in, that you've suppressed, that you didn't let go. And now they've turned into some type of seed in your body that has now caused you a dysfunction that may cause you to need a surgery. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to get into that right now because that would be more on the spiritual side, but for understanding, I have taken time to study that. And so a lot of diseases and a lot of illnesses that people have are really due to decisions that they've made to not share something, or to harbor something, or hold something and keep it in, or being upset about some situation that happened so long ago. Those people are gone and free and not even considering it. And here you are constantly weighing in on it, and it is causing you health problems. Snap out of it. You can get out of it. All right. I apologize. I hope that you were not offended, but it's real. We can get past this. So in case you missed the question, are you letting the past experiences dictate your future mindset? And all right, let's go with our last person. This is a 22-year-old single mother battling overwhelm. She has 3 children under 3, recently left an abusive relationship, and now her siblings have moved in with her. She's clinically diagnosed. Notice I said clinically diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Here's my coaching perspective. She is in survival mode. How many of you guys are just surviving? You're not thriving, but you're just surviving. So what small steps can she take towards healing? If you're in survival mode, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm here with you. I have been in that situation and coming out of it, but have been in those situations where you're just trying to survive. You don't have room for anything else. You don't have the headspace for anything else. You just got to be honest. Her environment is chaotic, and how can she create small moments of peace? So everything around you is chaotic. She got little people at home, children, under 3, her siblings. It didn't say how old her siblings were, but it says siblings. She's 22. I can only imagine that her siblings might be younger than her. They could be older, but either way, this is not the homestead that she was looking for. Depression and anxiety can feel permanent, but she has the power to change her reality. So it's all about how she thinks about it. She can change her reality. Is she seeking support from the right people, or is she just surviving? Are you seeking support from the right people, or are you just surviving? There are programs out there for us. If you need help, you got to get help, but you can get out of it. It's so interesting. Was just talking with a client yesterday, doing an assessment, and she was like, well, Miss Vital, what do you think? And I said, I think you can get out of this. We give you 6 more months in this situation, but I believe that you're on your way out. You do your check-ins, you're reporting in, you're going to work, you're doing all the things right. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I can get out of this. Mindset change. Ding, ding, ding. She said it herself. When she said, I can get out of it, guess what? It can happen. So mindset shift. Instead of I have no control, start saying I'm rebuilding my life. I'm going to throw in another one. This is not one of a coaching client, but just with young people. So in my classroom yesterday, they all had to prepare to take a test. They've known about this test for over a week. I say, okay, take some time to study for your test. I have one kid walks in. Oh, Miss Vital, I'm going to fail. And then another one. Yeah, I'm not going to do that well. Another one walks in. He's like, oh, I'm going to get an A. Well, guess what? The one who said he was going to fail, he failed. The one that said he was going to get 100, he got a 100. These kids are no different than us. And I said to them, I said, guys, you got to change your mindset. You can have whatever you speak. And they looked at me. And then somebody said, okay, well, I'm going to do well on my test. Majority of the class passed the test, but the ones who spoke about failing failed it. Are you intentionally sabotaging your own situation? Now, I talked about young people, but we all do the same thing. All right. It's almost time for us to end this. But anyway, let's get some practical exercises. Write down one thing you can do to improve your physical, mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual health. Just write down one thing. One thing. Not 10, not 15. Because look, me, I usually have about 10 to 15 things. And I'm like, oh, I can do this, and that. No, just one thing. Number 2, mind detox. Limit negative social media, news, and toxic conversations. Replace them with books, podcasts, or scripture that refuel positivity. Hey, how about this? Just challenge yourself today that you're not going to open up any social media. You're not going to read any of it. Let's go with that. If you do that today, I want you to just send me a note. Like, you know what? I listened to the podcast. This was something positive. Feed my mind, but I'm not going to open up any social media. Send me a note. All right, last one, daily reset routine. Morning, set an intention for the day. Midday, lunchtime, breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Reset your mind. Just take a moment to reset your mind. And then in the evening, reflect on one positive thing from the day. One thing. All right, here's your question. What's one toxic habit you need to let go of today? I want you to think about that. Maybe it's road rage, getting in the car in the morning and just going ham on the road. You could change that just by getting in the car earlier. So here's your takeaways for the day. Health isn't just about what you eat. It's about what you consume in every area of your life. Your character determines your attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude, but your health determines how far you can actually go. Don't just settle for surviving, work on thriving. So don't just settle on surviving, work on thriving. Here's your homework. Answer these questions in your journal this week or on your phone, but it's preferred that you write it down. What areas in my mind am I neglecting? What daily habit can I change to improve my health? Who or what do I need to eliminate to protect my peace? Let me say that one more time. What area of my health am I neglecting? What daily habit can I change to improve my health? And who or what do I need to eliminate to protect my peace? If you want to dive deeper into that, later on, I think tomorrow it'll upload. We have the 6 Elements of Change workbook on health. You can pull that from my Shopify store in the link in the bio. So you can listen to this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, and iHeart. I want to thank you so much again for choosing to tune in to Coaching Friday with your host, Shematrix Vital of Vital Statistics 3.0. Please take the time to like and subscribe. And remember, the difference is in the change that you choose to make. Be the difference, make the difference. Guess what? It's all up to you. We don't have to live in these diagnoses. We can come out of them. I'm here with you. DM me if you have questions or you just need somebody to be an accountability partner. I'll talk to you guys later. And if you're just a regular on here and you don't only listen to Coaching Friday, you can catch us again on Sunday for Sunday Chit Chat. All right, talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Bye.